Hello, hello. If you needed a quick refresher or reminder on some things that you should and should not do when creating your outreach materials, this presentation is for you. We're going to hop into some common mistakes that we see and sometimes that we do ourselves when it comes to designing materials such as flyers, newsletters, and social media posts. We're going to talk about some better options and then wrap it up with a couple of reminders. Starting first with this flyer, as you all can see, it's pretty hard to read. The colors are slightly off, there's no identifiable branding, and the design just doesn't flow well together. This is an example of something that we don't want to see when it comes to outreach materials. You can tell that there's some repetitive and some vague information. We have what you will learn as a title, and then we have learn all about soil health and how to get your soil healthy. Learn more about soil health. Here's how you're going to get there. Even if you could see that, once you actually read it, you would realize that it's not that helpful and we're repeating some of the same information. Again, we have those contrasting colors here. This will make it very hard for people to read, especially if this flyer is being distributed digitally or even if it's getting printed out. We want to make sure that people can actually see what we want to talk about. We also have our super generic title of Soil Health Field Day. How many soil health field days have you been to? I'm pretty sure once you go there, you keep seeing the same people over and over and over again because these are the only people who want to show up to learn specifically about soil health, maybe in combination with a field day. We didn't really get creative with that title, which might not help us reach new audiences. There's also a lack of brand awareness. Who is even hosting this event? There is a little title or a little brand above our title, but our viewer is not going to be able to readily distinguish who's hosting this, which might lead to less people showing up to our event. Finally, we have some awkward sizing and some awkward spacing. As you all can see, our titles aren't really jumping out. Our headers aren't really jumping out. We have what you will learn, and there's a couple gaps underneath it. We have some photos, but they're a little bit off size. It's just a lot going on here. We want to make sure that when we do create posters, our sizing and our spacing actually tells a story. We want people's eyes to be drawn to the important information and to the pictures that we want to highlight. This is something, or this flyer is something that we do not want to have people design. Getting a little bit better, we would still consider this flyer something that you don't want people to send out or design. Once again, we have that lack of brand awareness. Who is hosting this event? Why should people care? And why should people even show up? Now, I love minimalism. I love a nice, clean design, but sometimes you can be a little too minimal. When there's minimal information provided, you leave people wondering what's actually going to happen when they get to the event, who's going to be there, what you all are going to talk about, and anything else. If there's not enough information on your flyer or on your outreach materials, people might not be as inclined to show up. Speaking of showing up, there's also no actionable steps or items on this flyer. How will people RSVP? When should they RSVP by? How can they even reach you if they have questions since you didn't provide that much information? What steps do you want them to take after you send out this outreach material? Speaking of who you're going to send it to, who is this even for? You're sending this out to a pretty broad audience potentially, but nothing on this flyer indicates who should come to the event. I'm not sure if it's for farmers, for researchers, for conservation professionals. Who do you actually want to come to your event? Now, while those weren't some great flyers or some outreach materials, we're going to now move into something that's better. So you do want to make sure that you provide enough information on your flyer. There's a pretty fine line or a fine balance between what you provide on your flyer and what you send out in the rest of your advertising or outreach materials. You don't want to have information overload, but you do want to provide your audience with enough information to draw them in and get them interested and excited. You also want to make sure that you utilize brand awareness. You can tell now that we added that NWF logo in the top left corner. That way people simply know who we are. Maybe if they know who is hosting the event, they might be a little bit more excited to come out, show their face, and see what you all are talking about. We want to make sure that we're appealing to our audience. While on that last flyer, we did title it Secrets of the Soil. People know for this one, it's going to be an immersive workshop. So maybe people who are super interested in that hands-on work and they're interested in learning more about how to reach these secrets of the soil, they're going to be inspired to show up because of our unique title. We know that we're also providing our audience with a local farmer, and we're giving them the chance to build community with like-minded farmers. We tell them exactly what they'll be leaving the training with, and we provide actionable steps to RSVP or request more information. This is an example of a good flyer. We have another great example of a flyer. We want to be specific with who our target audience is. So right in our description, we have people who are interested in adding rotational grazing to their land management system. We have to appeal to their motivation. So thinking about how they can start. Maybe people don't know best practices for rotational grazing. Maybe they want to learn more about common issues or how to achieve the best results. These are all motivations that a farmer or land manager or rancher might have for learning more about rotational grazing. We want to make sure that we utilize diverse speakers if we do have speakers. So we have not only a grazing specialist, but we also have a local rancher who uses these practices and can kind of back up what that specialist says. In our description, we provided a glimpse of what our audience will learn and leave with. And this is really what people want to know. What are they getting out of this workshop, or what are they getting out of this experience? Another great example of a flyer, which is a little bit different maybe than some of the standard flyers that we see, but we're big proponents of trying different design types on different audiences. We encounter a lot of people who are doing career fairs, career days, and being honest, not every design works for every audience. It is totally okay to niche down, even with your designs, to get that draw, catch that eye of the people who you actually want to catch. So this one, in big bold letters, we have money talks, because guess what? A lot of new grads are interested in making that money. We do say that it's a career fair, but again, that money talks is the highlighted focus, hopefully drawing in those new students who are ready to graduate and get into their careers. We also like to use multiple registration methods. So we have a QR code, and we also have an email for if people aren't sure how to use QR codes or they need more assistance. We provide a draw or a valuable service. So for this event, we have on-site resume reviews and hirings. We have business showcase and interview tips and best practices. Once again, providing something valuable that people feel like aligns with their motivations. You also want to think of your timing when you have any type of event, but for this one specifically that's catered to students, we know that May, early June is when school is wrapping up. Graduation is around the corner. Students might be a little bit frazzled looking for a career. So this type of event really is going to draw audiences in when you make sure that it's timed around times that appeal to your audience's goals and their next steps. I wanted to leave you all with some things to remember. 1, think of your target audience. What issues are they currently facing, and how can your event be a solution for those issues? 2, it's totally okay to get creative. Eye-catching designs and unique event titles are key to reaching new audiences and increasing brand awareness. 3, your outreach materials are just a small bite. Flyers are bite-sized information sources. Use just enough information to draw in audiences, but don't overwhelm them with information. We hope that this presentation was helpful for you all. As a reminder, we are here to help you all out with any design assistance or feedback you may need when you are creating your outreach materials. Don't be a stranger and don't hesitate to reach out for help. Thank you.